Hey guys, so we're loaded up. We're going to go down to Leeds Point, do a little investigation on the Jersey Devil down there, come up with a tale, see if we can't find a little information about it down there from anybody close. Gonna be cool. Stick along for the ride. Alright, we'll see you. So we're coming into Leeds Point here, and the area definitely looks old. It's definitely an older area. Really rural. Kind of cool. On a stormy night in 1735, a Quaker woman gave birth to a child during a thunderstorm. The room flickered with candlelight. The wind howled. Some believed her to be a sorceress. The impoverished woman, known as Mother Leeds, was believed to have many other children, as many as 12. Or is it the story of a Leeds Point girl who had fallen in love with a British soldier? The British had come to the region because the iron furnaces at Batstow were supplying the privateers. In 1778, the British even engaged the Americans at the Battle of Chestnut Neck. The townsfolk opposed to the match, calling her relationship with her liaison an act of treason. They cursed the girl. Either way, a legend in folklore was born almost 300 years ago. The place Leeds Point in New Jersey. The year 1735. During that stormy night, a young lady by the name of Mother Leeds gave birth to her 13th child. Her name is thought to be Deborah. The child began to change within minutes. He started to develop hoofs, a goat's head, bat wings, and a tail. Deborah and the family were beat by the beast with his tail before flying up the chimney and heading into the pines. Or so that's how the tale goes. Pun intended. Many sightings were reported in the coming years. Commodore Stephen Decatur, while visiting Hanover Mill Works to inspect cannonballs, sighted the flying creature and fired a cannonball directly upon it to no effect. Joseph Bonaparte, elder brother of Napoleon, who was exiled and moved to New Jersey, also claimed to have seen the Jersey Devil while hunting on his Bordentown estate in 1820. In 1840, it was thought that the Jersey Devil was responsible for many livestock killings. These killings were also accompanied by tracks and screams as well. It even got to the point where the Philadelphia Zoo posted a $10,000 reward for this creature, offering to build a private house for the creature if it was captured. The offer brought many hoaxes looking to claim the reward money, but the money was never paid. There was a string of sightings in 1909 in January. The newspapers published claimed encounters from all over southern Jersey and the Philly area. Police even made it onto the sightings lists, claiming to have even fired upon the beast. So much fear was created during that week. In 1909, a number of schools were forced to close from the fear that was generated. The wave of sightings then moved to the year 1960, where tracks and noises were heard near Mays Landing. Another sighting more recently in 1972 from a lady by the name of Mary Ritzer Christensen. While traveling back to her college at Glassboro State, she noticed something in the rearview mirror, slowing down enough to get a glimpse of what she had thought she had seen as close as 25 feet behind her car. Quote, "I seen a figure standing taller than a man by far, with thick haunches, similar to a goat, and supporting a human-looking torso with a woolly head. This was on Green Tree Road between Blackwood and Glassboro." A sighting was even reported in my own hometown, Bayville, by the name of a guy, Sonny Z. He said he was driving through the town and two cars ahead of him suddenly slammed on their brakes. A disgusting creature emerged from the woods. He described it as hairless, strange, with short ears and hoofed feet. He said it also towered over the road, unlike any animal he had ever seen. I ran across other possible explanations as to how the legend started. The first possible idea of where the legend could have been generated was due to the fact that the Leeds family had a falling out with the Quaker majority, as mentioned earlier. And in the time when thoughts of independence were being discussed, the Leeds family became a political and religious monster in the eyes of the Quakers. So perhaps the tale was generated to get back at the family. Another variation on the tale tells of a young woman who refused to give food to a begging gypsy. The gypsy cursed her, and years later the woman gave birth to a demon who fled into the Pine Barrens. Finally, the last explanation that I came across was that historically the Pine Barrens were considered inhospitable land, and this is where highwaymen and robbers were known to have lived, and they were known to rob and attack people passing through the Pine Barrens. These people that live here are still called, to this day, Pineys, and they still tell stories that are frightening about themselves and other folklore in the area to discourage outsiders from entering the Pine Barrens. One of those so-called stories includes Captain Kidd, who I did a story on not too long ago, and a ghost in his likeness near Leeds Point. A final story that I ran across that I was rather intrigued about was talk of a different birthplace. I decided to head out to see the house, which still stands. It's the oldest cabin in the U.S. and is closer to Philadelphia. I guess it was time for a road trip then. That's what I did. I packed up and I headed over there. Which could explain why the zoo offered $10,000. I wanted to fly and take a video, but no one was home when I arrived. So many stories and tales of sightings of the Jersey Devil makes it hard to believe that it's not true, or have these tales made it a figment of everyone's imaginations. The legend has made it almost 300 years, and even has a professional hockey team named after it. This story deserves to be told.